Hey, I'm recording. Here we go. It's Sunday in Colorado, and we're here back in Colorado after visiting some of our neighbors recently with Sarah Slaton and Sarah Joelle out of Fort Collins, Colorado. How are you both?
We're good. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on. Sarah Slaton, you are, of course, it's well known you're formerly of Edison, trio that logged a lot of miles around the United States and beyond in a van and a trailer called Trailer Swift. Sorry, I'm stealing those words right out of your mouth. And have since you guys have gone your separate ways, and you are pursuing your solo career right now. Sarah Joelle, of course, is a member of a staple Denver band named Lola Rising. And I just want to ask you guys right off the bat, how are you doing through the last year of pandemic, and what have you been up to?
Oh man, it's been a year. It feels like nothing's happened and everything's happened. Yeah, we quarantined right away, and during the whole lockdown, we turned our energy and focus into having a live stream series where we booked like 92 bands from mostly Colorado. So focused on the live stream, and then moving into the summer, we spent a lot of time outdoors and recharged our own batteries a lot and wrote a new song, which we then recorded in the fall and released in December. So, yeah, new single and music video was big. It's been a big year. I don't know, a lot of recharging our batteries. I don't know how to even sum it up. A lot of movies, a lot of Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah. We did have moments of that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Netflix movie over the last year?
Oh, I want to know yours.
I don't know. Netflix specific? I don't know. I mean,
Or
I love the
Stream
Queen's
Pacific?
Gambit.
Oh,
Yeah,
stream specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit was pretty awesome. But that's a show.
that's
Oh
true.
man, I watched so much stuff. I'm trying to think what my favorite thing was. Of all things, I read the books as a kid, but I watched the Hardy Boys, which they turned into a series, and I really enjoyed that and the Umbrella Academy, which are totally like I'm not in the demo that they're going for, but I really enjoyed them.
I also watched Umbrella Academy. I enjoyed that. I didn't know
It was
that
good.
they did a Hardy Boys series.
They did. It's really good. I mean, I liked it.
I'll have to look for that for sure. I recently, my partner introduced me to a show called The OA, which is a good one on Netflix. Recommend that one. We'll get back to some of the live stream stuff you were talking about a little bit later, but I know that you have both together and independently released some singles this year. What were those about?
Oh man, we did two singles under my name and with this project, and that was the first one is the first song we're going to play today, and that's called Time to Go. And it was written about the final tour that I had with my band Edison that you mentioned before, and I thought it would be appropriate to release it. And we recorded it at the Stone Cottage Studios in Boulder. We did a whole session that's on YouTube with like 4 songs and an interview. And this song, we love the live take so much that we wanted to put it out as a single, like a live recording single. So we did that. And the music video is a bunch of footage from tour, from Edison's old tours. And then we put out Get Up, which is a really awesome studio single that we were super excited about. That's about the dumpster fire that is 2020 and reminding us to get back up again.
So you said that you put out this song as a live take. Were you intending on not doing that?
Oh yeah, it was kind of an accident. Like we went to record the Stone Cottage Studios session in June, and then once it came out, like a month or so later, we just loved the Time to Go version that was on there, and so we asked them if we could get the file and if we had their permission to put it out. So we did it.
That's some real Bob Dylan shit right there.
Thank you.
One take, and done. Good enough.
Apparently, and then
Yeah.
Sarah Joelle put out a whole album with her band Lola Rising back in April.
Yeah, we did a full, or I was actually an EP in April of last year. It was actually right at the start of the pandemic, which was kind of a bummer, but it was kind of nice to have some fun to look forward to and something to work on at the time because it really kept my focus.
Absolutely. So when you guys put out that album with Willow Rising, how was it received? Considering we're at the beginning of a pandemic, no one really knew that we were in it for a year plus now, or approaching a year plus. And what was what was that process like?
It was a decision we had to make whether we were going to release it or not still. And we couldn't do our album release party that we had planned. And it was kind of a bummer at first, but then when we released it, no one else was really releasing music at that moment because it was kind of, everyone was kind of going through that. So I think it actually got some good attention, and I think it was received really well. It was like, it's a fun and uplifting song, and kind of like, it's called Moving Forward. So it's about banding together, being kind of brothers and all working together and uniting. So it was good at the time. It was like a happy thing.
And anything to report since then anything to report since then from Lola Rising? Or you guys?
I'm sure we'll be playing some summer stuff. We'll see. When everything starts to open back up, I'm sure we'll be playing some summer shows.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to step on you there.
I just said me too.
We all are, for sure. What are you two calling your project? Just going by your names, or is there a name coming?
Right now it's just Sarah Slaton. I'm losing my voice here. Sarah Slaton. Yeah, it's my name. I played under my own name for almost a decade before I ever made Edison. And then once I had a few players playing with me, and whenever Dustin Morris and I specifically started playing together, wanted to give the project a name. So we called it Edison, and then Max got on board, and it was great. And it was great having a name and stuff, which maybe that'll happen at some point. But I'm really happy just being Sarah Slaton, and I am really lucky to get to hire out people like Sarah Joelle to, play at the live shows with me and on records. And we've got Matt Fink, who's also in Lola Rising, who plays the drums. And we've got Ryan Gombeski, who used to be in a ton of bands and is now in Onocon, which is a new project out of Denver. And then we've got Leif Shostrom, who's a cello player in LA, and we steal him when he's in town. And then we work with Kind Dub. So there's like 7 of us, and it's like this mishmash of people that play in all these different projects. But yeah, it just goes under my name. Maybe I'll pull in Nathaniel Rateliff at some point and do like a Sarah Slaton and the blah blah blah. But I haven't like gotten to that point yet.
Nope.
I thought about like Sarah Slaton and the Great Perhaps. But I don't know. I just feel like there's pressure because almost every interview we get asked that, and it's like, if I'm not alone in the interview, it can't just be like, on the stage, they're like, well, what's your band name? And I'm like, Sarah Slaton. It's confusing because I write all the songs, and then we like add like all these layers to it. Sarah Jo and I write together actually quite a bit more now in the pandemic, but even with Edison, like the first record, it was like half songs I had before the band was called that. So which then gets confusing when you split all the rights to all the songs you've written with other people, and then you're not a band anymore. It's just a lot. So you're like, do I want to? It's like after being out of a divorce, you're just like, do I want to get back into that? Like, I feel like
it's all your brainchild.
I feel like I'm good with the name. But if anyone listening wants to think of some names for us, and this is a party, let's do it together. So DM me Instagram at I am Sarah Slaton or at Sarah Joelle, and tell us some names you want to hear. Whatever. We'll pick the best one, maybe.
I think Sarah Slaton and Sarah Slaton with Sarah Joelle flows off the tongue real well. So no pressure for me, certainly. Let's hear some music, shall we?
Let's do it. This song's called Time to Go. It's the one I was just talking about, and it was put out in October. time to go. It's time to go. Wake up and everything's changing. You can't keep going. You know you can't stay. Run home with open arms to hold. Love will guide you north and now. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. Wake up and everything's changing. You can't keep going. You know you can't stay. Run home with open arms to hold. Love will guide you north and now. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. Do I call it a day? There's nothing to say.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Quick shout out to For the Love of Locals. Both Sarah Slaton and Sarah Joelle were featured on their live stream. They do local live streams out of Denver. You can find them on Facebook. Both of you were recently on that. Was it last night, 2 nights ago? Something like that.
2 nights?
2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 nights ago. And Sarah Slaton, you mentioned that particular song being written at the end of your run with Edison. And I think just personally, having heard that song a few times, I'm always struck with the sort of indelible sadness that you convey, and also in the latter half of the song, how it sort of has this like very definitive lilt of happiness, and then sort of, and then a definitive ending with "There's nothing to say" in the final lyrics. So good job by you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Do you have anything to add from what I just said about that song?
I mean, I really appreciate how you heard it. I mean, it's kind of that summation that you gave is really kind of how it is. Like it was really, really heartbreaking for the band to decide that it was time for us to kind of hang our hats. And but there was also this part of you that was like, yeah, like it makes sense, like it's time for us to go and to stop doing this. But it was like, yeah, it was like I was both happy in ways and sad at the same time, like mostly sad, but it was like, yeah, it's time for us to stop doing this, I guess. But it'll always be one of the best things that I ever did with my life. And those years will always be, like by a long mile, like some of the best years of my life. So yeah, every time I play it, I like get this nice little flashback to our time together. So it's one of my favorites now to play because I get to spend like a little bit of time with Edison every time I play it.
That's fantastic. I also think there's a low-key chance that that song could replace closing time for when bars close at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? Ooh, I like that.
Time to go, y'all.
Something to say. You've done some work recently with, and I believe are still doing some work putting up pop-up vaccination clinics around Colorado. Tell us a little bit about that, Sarah Slaton, and Sarah Joelle, if you're involved as well. I'm not sure.
Oh, her family is a little bit. For me, I was contacted by a dear friend from the music industry that we've both just done a ton of stuff over the years together. And they reached out and said that some folks from the music industry that were out of work would be working at these COVID testing sites that were going to small communities around the state and doing testing in places that otherwise wouldn't have access to free community testing. So yeah, I started doing that in mid-December, and I've gone all over. I'm leaving today after this podcast to go up to like 3 different cities over the next 3 days, all near the New Mexico border. But yeah, I'm enjoying helping and being a part of, I guess what the support people that are doing stuff right now. But yeah, I don't know if I'll pivot to vaccines. That's an option possibly in the next couple months. But yeah, I'll be doing testing for a little bit longer now and swabbing people's noses with a lot of other folks that normally do production work. So
Yeah. You had mentioned in an article interview you did earlier this year that as a musician, as somebody who's been part of a production team, that you're particularly well equipped to handle this type of work.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you have hundreds, if not thousands, of people at different sites coming to get a test, and it's they're mostly drive-through tests, but you take like these empty parking lots or these spaces, and you just get there and you build a whole site and run something for 8 hours and break it down and keep doing that for a bunch of days. And it's just people that normally build stages, or a lot of the people that I like started working with, I already knew from years past, like at Coachella and other festivals I used to work. So yeah, it's just a lot of people that can get things done quickly and not really ask any questions. People can just trust you to get it done. It's a lot of hardworking production folks.
Do you feel like that type of attitude and the type of work that you've basically experienced your whole life being a musician has benefited you over the last year in the pandemic?
I mean, I think life, no matter what you do in life, is what you make it. I think being a musician is probably one of the worst occupations you could have had going into this pandemic, if not being a venue owner, which is probably worse, definitely worse, because they've got rents on their venues due every month, and musicians don't have the income coming in, and we have our own rent due. But a lot of people do side hustles anyway besides their music career. So
Sure.
yeah, for me though, it's been good because we have this way of dealing with our own problems in life through creating music and art. And so when shit really hits the fan, like 2020, I feel like we're well equipped to like figure out ways in which we can process it, because we spend our lives processing the world around us. So I feel like it's been a good thing to be a musician. What do you think, babe?
A good thing to be a musician
in the pandemic?
I mean, I think it's been really hard. I feel a lot of things about that. I feel like good art could come from this. I feel like it's been a really hard year, and a lot of times that's where good art comes from. So I guess in that regard, there could be some cool things, but it doesn't help that we all had to go through a lot of hardship to get that creativity going.
Sure. Is there anything that has incidentally come out of the pandemic that's quite good, positive change for you, either of you personally?
Well, the song I think came out of the pandemic. That was pretty cool.
Song definitely was a positive thing creatively. I mean, we definitely started going on a lot more hikes and did last summer when it was nice. We were just outdoors nonstop and like every single day. Like we were out doing something like 5 days a week and a lot more family walks. And we started cooking at home so much more and not going out to eat. And you know, she doesn't really drink, but I started drinking a whole lot less and just taking better care of our bodies. So holistically, it was a good year and creatively ended up actually being a pretty decent year. It's just missing our friends and family and live music.
Yeah, shows.
And obviously the heaviness of everything going on.
Yeah, of course. Okay, let's talk a little bit about songwriting with you two. How does that process work between, or how does that dynamic function between the two of you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's evolved. We now a lot of times will like I'll start something on like the guitar and then we'll bring piano into it, or lately like we'll start doing things at the same time. I don't know, we just have like our little writing den here and spend a lot more time writing together now. I'm a top liner, so I do melody and lyrics, and sometimes we'll come up with like a general idea of a song, and then she's my transcriber because she's smart and knows music theory and can explain everything that
is that so, Sarah Joelle? Is that so, Sarah Joelle?
I wouldn't say I'm smart, but I did go. I mean, I went to music school, so I know a couple things. But it's more so I feel hindered by that, though. You know, creatively, because I think that I'm supposed to do what I was told to do, so I have a hard time with that. Where she's really creative and she hears or has ideas in her head, and I kind of help her mold them and make it reality, or tell her what she's playing because she hears it, but she doesn't know what's going on. So I can often translate it to the band, or if we're putting together structure, things like that, I kind of come in handy. But right she's the creative one for sure.
I mean, I'm writing a lot of songs. I have to write a song basically every week or every other week right now for this class that I'm in through the music district in Fort Collins, which is this phenomenal place up here. And they're doing a class that I got into. It's called The Workout. And every week you're having different people from the sync licensing world. So music being put on film and television. They're like coaching you and teaching you for the week. And then you write a song based on what's called a brief, which is basically what a show would send out saying like, you know, we're like a Gen Z drama show and we're looking for this kind of song with this kind of feeling. And they'll send some reference tracks of like, these are similar popular songs that have the feel of what we're going for. So that happens in real life all the time. And so in this class, I'm sharpening those tools by submitting songs based on fake briefs. So she's been working on some of that with me too. So I think some new music will come out of this exercise that I'm doing for the next couple of months.
That sounds pretty intense, right? And so you're writing one song a week, is that correct?
Yeah, and I take the rig to the hotels with me because I'm traveling like almost 1,000 miles a week for the COVID job. So I'd like tomorrow I'll go run the COVID job. I'll be gone from like 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then I have this class from 6 to 8 p.m. at night online, Mondays and Tuesdays. And then I have to have the song turned in a little bit later.
Right.
So, but it's fun and keeps you on your toes and keeps you from just being bored in a hotel room at night.
Okay, well, let's hear the next song. I believe you're going to play Get Up. Is that right?
I think we'll play that last just because of a thing with my pedal. But I think next we'll do Sideways, which is one of my favorites, probably my favorite from Edison, which was a song. I love Imogen Heap, and I was just paying a bit of homage to her song Hide and Seek as far as the vocal effects go. And it's, I guess, one of my only romantic songs. So it's just about being alone with someone you care about.
Sounds good.
You got me feeling all sideways, shaking nervous hands to your face, pulling off my shirt in your place. Waited so long for your taste, baby. Tell me how you'll hold me. You got me feeling all sideways. You got me feeling all sideways. You got me feeling all sideways. I'm feeling all sideways. And you got me feeling all. Tell me how. Tell me how. Tell me how. You hold me. No, 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 no. Tell me how. Tell me how. Tell me how. You hold me. And tell me how a heart can break. Tell me how much love it takes to forgive all our mistakes. And tell me how a heart can break. Tell me how much love it takes to forgive all our mistakes. Tell me. And tell me. And tell me.
Taking you to outer space.
You've made some substantial changes in arrangements since you were first performing that, Sarah Slaton.
Oh yes, we changed the ending quite a bit.
Yeah, it's good. Sarah Joelle, what is that funky looking microphone? It looks unambiguously like a telephone.
It is a telephone, actually. It's an old military telephone that has been converted, and it goes to a 1/4 inch plug-in, and there's like a little bit of gain, but not really a whole lot. But it is literally an old phone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Really
you
cool.
speak. So are you speaking or singing into the receiver end?
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
then
actually
it's
when they convert it, they have to flip it.
uh-huh.
And so people will say, you talk on the other side, right? I know. I'm actually old enough to have a landline.
You're old enough, or you're old fashioned enough?
I'm old enough that I grew up with a cord and a phone.
I had the we had the dial around or whatever you call it.
The rotary
The
telephone.
rotary phone.
Yeah.
We had one of those when I
Yeah.
was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had the one with the my mom, I remember, had the 4-room telephone cord so that
Yeah.
she could
Walk all over the kitchen and
yeah, walk into the bedroom and yell at you while on the phone still.
Yep. Mhm.
That's awesome. Kids these days don't know.
I don't know the struggles we had. Yeah, exactly.
They don't
know. We over the last year have really kicked live streaming into an upper echelon of live events, and especially live music and local streaming. There's a couple of things I want to ask you about. First, um, obviously you mentioned your live streaming series, which was called what exactly?
The NoCo Live from Home show.
Are you still doing that?
No, it was a lot of work to do 8 bands a week. So no, it was just something I felt was right at the time from like March to June. But no, I'm actually working with a company that does high-end live streams down in Denver called The Armory. And I work with Tony Mason, who his promotion company is Tone Dynamics. And we curate shows that are live streamed at The Armory. So I'm more focused on that now.
And I believe you have a documentary you're producing surrounding
it's
that.
like I feel like documentary is a generous word. It's like a documentary style feature. Like I think of it like a PBS NewsHour, because it's a lot of interviews mixed in with some B-roll and some stuff that's shot, but it'll be a lot of really hearing the stories of the people behind the scenes that have been honestly like devastated by the pandemic. So you've got people that were on tour as lighting designers, you have tour managers, you have musicians, you have publicists, you've got all these people that were just kind of wiped out. And then we've got live performances from some really great Colorado acts. And the whole thing is going to be ticketed and premiere as a live stream. And we will have 50% of the proceeds going back to a Colorado Music Relief Fund that will go to venue workers and local musicians. So we're trying to replenish because some funding has gone out, but it goes pretty quickly. And there's always a lot of people that didn't get it or get enough. So we're just trying to help refill the piggy bank for giving out little grants. They're big grants, but I mean, little compared to what people really need, but it's something. So yeah, that'll come out TBD, but we're in the middle of doing edits now. And in March, a Kickstarter will launch to help raise money to cover the production expenses and raise money for the film. So keep an eye out for that. It will be called When the Music Stops.
Where do you foresee that airing? Just online, or are you going to try and?
Oh, sorry.
Or I was just going to ask if you were going to try and do some sort of different release for it.
It'll start out baby steps. I think we'll do like a ticketed live stream premiere that'll be online. We'll also do like a VIP red carpet kind of screening for people that are certain backers of the Kickstarter, along with like press and the people that are featured in the film, actually at the Armory, and do like a whole soiree, like fancy evening. That'll be limited capacity, obviously, and safely done. But we'll do a little something like that. And then I'd like to get a screening at a local movie theater in Colorado and potentially the drive-in this summer. And then from there, we're looking into figuring out, depending on what the final product that comes out. But we feel really good about it. We'd like to make sure that we get it distributed online, possibly like through Amazon Prime and all that stuff at some point. And we'll submit it to like South by Southwest and some other little festival circuits.
Sarah Joelle, what do you think about the future of live streaming? Do you think that's going to be integral to live events in the future once we can presumably pack full houses again?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it going away anytime soon, even if things do get closer to quote unquote normal. I think that there's a lot of people who are not going to be comfortable going out in public. I think that, and also accessibility. You can see streams from all over the world and people now know how to do it. So I feel like I don't see it going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think even when concert venues are completely full again, they'll have cameras set up, and to even make more money, like if it's 1,000-person cap show sold out with Fantagram, you can still buy the live streaming ticket from the Ogden and live stream it from your couch if you want, and then the artist and the venue can make more money, and you can have both.
We've got one more song for you guys to play, correct?
Yes, sure do. It's gonna be the new single, Get Up.
All right, let's go ahead and hear that now. Cool.
Oh, and before we start, it's everywhere online, but I'm really stoked that we got a chance to film a music video for it, which a lot of times I'm not able to do. And so we shot it with our friends Kind Dub, who are also the folks that Sarah Joelle just released that new single with. But we shot it around Fort Collins, and it's out on YouTube now. So if you like the track, I'd love for you to go see the music video online. Do some fantastic acting.
Yeah, it's great.
It's true. And also, as a side, Kind Dub also does the theme music for ColoLocal. So
there you go.
Familiar favorites for sure.
That's amazing.
All right, so let's hear Get Up whenever you're ready.
Ooh, ooh. Waking up, I'm feeling down again. It's like a stranger's living in my skin. When did I start to live a life that stopped feeling like it was mine? Can I get back up this time? I know that you're starting to see you're stronger than you may seem. What you gonna do? Get up now. Get up. Get up now. And what you gonna do? Get up now. Get up. Get up now. What you gonna do? Ooh. Take your time to figure out my head. Making sure I don't appear again. I'm gonna find some better days. Might get lost along the way. I'm learning that's okay. I know they're starting to see you're stronger than you may seem. But what you gonna do? Get up now. Get up. Get up now. And what you gonna do? Get up now. Get up. Get up now. What you gonna do when the world's locked down and you can't go out and run from yourself now? It seems so loud, it seems so loud, the city quiet now. Do when the world's locked down and you can't go out and run from yourself now. It seems so loud, it seems so loud, the city quiet now. The city's quiet now. What you gonna do? Get up now. Get up. Get up now. And what you gonna do? Get up now. Get up. Get up now. And what you gonna do when the world's locked down and you can't go out and run from yourself now? It seems so loud, it seems so loud, the city quiet now. Do when the world's locked down and you can't go out and run from yourself now. It seems so loud, it seems so loud, the city quiet now. What you gonna do?
Awesome. And you wrote that together, correct?
We did.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it was her brainchild again, but she had the melody in her head and a little bit of guitar, and then I think actually it was the first song we sat down together though, kind of jammed out a little bit.
Yeah, I had like this I had that like kind of like the guitar little
Yeah.
I had that like little I had that and then it just kind of that came from what we'll do is we'll sit there and jam around with like just because we like this, and then she'll start to play the chords that go with it when we start, and then I'll just improv over it and we'll just voice memo like half an hour of just blibber blabber, and then we'll do that a couple times and then listen back and be like, oh, that sounds like I can hear something there, and then like you'll end up building off that. So that's how that one came to be. And Time to Go was one totally separate from that, where I started strumming on a guitar, hit the voice memo, and the first thing I sang start to finish like is the song.
Yeah.
And it's no different than whatever came out of my mouth that first voice memo.
That just fell out of you.
But this is one that we workshopped for like a month, just kind of, I don't know, fooling around till something felt right.
It's great. Well, the final result is very good. I'm a big fan of that track.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for putting that out in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One last question. You had mentioned earlier about you're going through this class with the music district in Fort Collins regarding writing for TV and movies. And before you've mentioned, I know, co-writing opportunities in LA, and I just wanted to ask you what that's all about a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like what I'm doing right now is kind of an extension of that and has helped me with this class. But yeah, I went to a couple of co-writing camps. I went to one in Canada, and then I went to one in Palm Springs, and both where you go to a place like a retreat for like a week with strangers that are musicians or producers or songwriters, and you do classes during the day and then get a brief every single day. And you have, instead of a week to write a song at camp, you've got like 4 hours to write a song, and you're put in a different group every day with like two different strangers. And then by the end of the week, you know most everybody, and you perform the song at night after that like 4 hour writing session. So I did 2 weeks of that with two different groups of people and different coaches, and then just was trying to flip become a better songwriter. And so this is like an extension of that, but I felt like those camps have helped me as I dig into this new thing.
Are you finding yourself receiving any opportunities to actually co-write out of that? Or is this just all kind of continuing education and preparation for what I'm sure you will have in the future?
I feel like the assignments at first, I had taken it like we each do our own song, but then as I understood it more, we can collaborate. So for my next song, I'll be collaborating. Cody from Kind is actually in the class, so we already worked together away from the class. So I'd love to do one of the songs with him. And there's I've been listening to everybody's submissions from the first week of homework, and I'm trying to figure out people that do what I can't, that we both don't, that we could partner up with. So yeah, there'll be a lot more co-writing to come. And I went and met up with like Spencer from the Hollow last year before the pandemic to co-write together, and I met up with Morning Bear. We haven't put out anything, but I have been trying to just do more sessions with musicians around here, and I'd like to put out more tracks that feature like some other people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great, and you do such a great job, Sarah, with collaboration and community building, and it's really impressive to see, and I commend you on that. So
thank you so much. Same to you.
Thank you. Is there anything else that either of you would like to add? Anything we got to say? Now's the time.
Yeah, I do have a couple of things. If you're in the Colorado area, Denver or Fort Collins, we just booked our first summer shows that will be outdoors and socially distanced, and as safe as all the protocols can make it. The first one is in Denver, May 13th at Mile High Station, which is near the Broncos Stadium. And then the day after that, May 14th, we're playing outdoors at New Belgium Brewing in Fort Collins. So you can come sit on the lawn and have a beer, and they space everything out really well there because it's massive. And then we'll be back at New Belgium for a little festival they're doing in Fort Collins on June 19th. And then we're going to come back there in July. So we'll be at New Belgium every month this summer. And just follow on sarahslaton.com to see a list of shows. But yeah, we're excited to get back out and do some live music. So we'd love to see you guys.
Sarah Joelle, where can the audience find you specifically?
You can find me on Facebook at Sarah Joelle Music, facebook.com/Sarah Joelle Music, or Instagram at Sarah Joelle, Joelle. I did just put out a new single with Kind of as well. I think you may have mentioned it, but it's called Stay Kind.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you both so much for being here today. This was fun. It's always good to see you both.
You too.
Keep on keeping on, stay safe, and wear a mask and all that garbage we all got to do until we can get out of this. So we love you all. Thank you so much. Until next time, this has been ColoLocal.